everyone. This is Tico Casamayor. We are here today with a brand new show. It's the Strive305 Lockdown Fitness Podcast. What the heck does that mean? Fitness podcast? Yes, fitness podcast. I know what you're thinking. I don't look fit. I'm not like my other co-host, Vons, who's super fit, but I'm going to get there. That's why we're here. And we're here today with Brent Locke, who you're looking at over there. He's fit. He's like my good friend, Vons. He's super fit and super good looking. But what we're going to be doing with this podcast, this is the introductory podcast, so what we call a pilot. I guess they call this a pilot in the TV shows, which is kind of cool. I've never actually done like a pilot. So this is our pilot podcast. Right. We're going to be an introduction. I'm going to introduce you to this guy. And I know this guy for a long time. He's got a fitness background that you can't even imagine, and I'll share some of it in a minute. So what we're going to be talking about in this podcast is not how to do a push-up, how to do a sit-up, how to do a crunch. Everybody knows that, or they can go somewhere else to find that out. What are we going to talk about, Brent?
Basically, we're going to just talk about some in-depth information on exercise, nutrition, hormotherapy, beauty, the whole aspect of health and fitness. As we know, exercise is more than just pushing weight. We need mobility, flexibility, what to do, what not to do, what to avoid, how to do it better. With nutrition, we need to know what to take, what not to take. There's so much information out there right now that it can be a little overwhelming. So our goal, I know mine is to make sure that we get out the right information that is looked up, is fact-checked, and, not just for us, but, we can have someone that comes in and gives us a little bit more in-depth on these things that we're talking about, because I can consider myself an expert, but guess what? Somebody else who actually sits down and studies this and does this for a living is going to give you a little bit more in-depth. And so that's our goal, to try to give that in-depth for people to know what to do, because there's just so much information out there. Hormone therapy.
Oh, no, yeah. The information and what we're going to be doing is not the normal stuff. You're going to get a lot of different information. Right. And the beautiful thing about me is, besides I've trained with him, I've trained with professional bodybuilders, I've trained with, what do you call those girls? I forgot. The aerobics. I've done aerobics class. I go that far back. In the 70s when I was a kid. I've done aerobics. I've done slide aerobics. I've done CrossFit. I've competed in CrossFit. I've competed in bodybuilding. Yeah. I've destroyed myself. I've destroyed myself using CrossFit. I've destroyed myself overworking out. I've done too little workout. I've gotten fat. I've gotten skinny. I've done it all. So I'm your perfect beta test, and I'm going to be the one that's going to question you and ask you why this happened to me. How did I fix it? Right. I've been old. I've been young. I'm young again. So we're going to have a lot of great conversations throughout this show. Correct. Now, I mentioned before that he is an expert. And when I say expert, fitness trainer, you were going to be the Georgetown basketball, or you had the opportunity?
Yeah, to be the strength coach for Georgetown University.
Basketball.
Yes,
so that tells you that he's not just a regular anybody. Correct. He just did, he followed his wife. Yes, I'm sorry, girls, he's taken. But he followed his wife here to Miami, which is how I got to meet him. Thank you, God, for that. And so he does do have great knowledge and great background information. And like he mentioned, we're going to bring guests. Yeah. I have a nice plethora of guests that we're going to bring that everybody's going to love. And so let's get a little bit more about you. So why did you start? What inspired you to get into this fitness world? Besides, you want to look good and you want to have biceps like that.
Well, when I started in college, I was a lifeguard at the YMCA, and they wanted me to, join the fitness side of it as well. So, I got certified, and my first client, believe it or not, was someone who had knee surgery and was coming back, and they wanted to just get back into it. And so, I didn't know much then, I was just fresh into it, but something said, get him on the treadmill and make him move a little bit, because when I seen him come in, he was shuffling, had that little walk like, was just hurting. So I said, well, let's try to open him up a little bit. So he got on the treadmill, and he said it was painful at first. And so I wanted to say, hey, well, let's get off. He said, no, I need this. I appreciate this. This is what I need. And so that was a little spark to be like, wow, this is what it's about, helping some people, and them appreciating that. So, fast forward, I get into, Washington Sports Club. I don't know if anybody remember that or not, but still learning. But man, I saw this one guy. He was the best trainer I've ever seen. He was a bodybuilder, but he had the shape of an athlete. It was the weirdest combination. But his knowledge of how he trained his people and what he did with them was incredible. And then I would talk to his clients behind his back, because, I wanted to know how this man does it. This guy was ripped, one of his clients, and he said he never did cardio. And from there, I'm like, what? You didn't do cardio and you're this ripped? He says, all nutrition. our workouts are good, but the nutrition, he said, you wrote down, I'm like, I want to be like this guy.
Okay, real quick, I learned something doing
What'd you
podcasts.
learn?
This is your first time doing one.
Okay.
Is hitting the table. I would do that too because I get excited and I would do this. And
Okay.
apparently the microphone picks it all up.
Does it really?
And then they can't hear you talk.
Okay.
So stop hitting the table. See, I'm a trainer too. Anthony, yes or no? I'm a trainer as well.
Oh, goodness.
I just train on
This
podcast
guy.
hosting. You know,
Yeah.
I got 50 under my belt.
Gotcha.
So
no tapping.
yeah,
But
don't hit the table.
that's basically it. You know, a trainer that I saw that I wanted to be like. That was it. You know, and we are a factor. What do they call it? You are pretty much a fact of where you came from, right? You know, he showed me. He was my mentor, and so now I'm repurposing what he showed me, and I appreciate that to this day because it's still present to this day. So thank you, my man, for that.
you keep hitting the table.
Stop it, Tico.
Okay, so there's a bunch of when you're training. I mean, the gym. I'll tell you what my experience. I used to walk into a gym horrified. And the first time a person walks into a gym, especially with a lot of people around, you're scared, right? When you have a trainer,
Yeah.
at least you have someone that's there with you and they're by your side and they're guiding you. It's still scary.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What do you advise your people when they come? Because another thing that can happen when you go with a trainer, if they don't know what they're doing, the first day you go home, the next 2 days later, you can't move.
Yeah.
You're a zombie,
Yes.
right? That's number one.
Yes.
Number two, how long? Give me the answer. I'm asking you questions. You know, how long? Let's say I'm an out of shape person. I want to go into the gym. What do you tell your clients? Because everybody wants to get, wants instant gratification. You want to get in shape right away. You want to be fit right away. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
And then my third one is going to be the most important thing when you're training, and I'm not going to even ask you, I'm going to tell you guys, the most important thing when you're training for bodybuilding, when you're training for CrossFit competition, if you're going to CrossFit person,
Right.
when you're training for anything, it's not how long you work out, how much you work out, how much cardio you do, it's nutrition.
Correct.
I learned that
Correct.
doing bodybuilding.
Yes.
You know, because I trained with a bodybuilder that you met.
Yes.
I trained with many years. And then I'm thinking, wow, how crazy. But how come you're so ripped? Is it because you're taking drugs? You're taking this? He goes to me, do you want to get ripped? You want to go on a show? Follow this diet. He gave me a diet plan.
That's right.
And he manipulated it every day. But I had to be, because I didn't want to do the steroids. He told me, you got to do exactly what I tell you when it comes to nutrition.
That's right.
I did. And oh my God, he literally put me on a stage. Your skin turns into like paper thin.
That's right.
Vascularity.
Yes.
I scared away girls because I was so, I looked like if I was a walking vein.
Right.
So nutrition is one of the most important things when it comes to this world of fitness, which is why we're going to, by the way, I got us expert nutritionist is going to come on the show.
Awesome.
That'll be one of our guests when you guys come back.
Great.
You're going to see an expert nutritionist.
Good.
So how critical is nutrition when it comes in, you're thinking, and the fear of people going into a gym? How do you help people with that? And what do you tell people about length of how long, before you start seeing change and all that?
Right.
Those are cool. The initial questions that everybody asks. That's what I always ask.
So just to sum it up really quickly, you have to have a conversation. You know, if someone comes in, you need to have a conversation. You need to know what it is that they want to do. Know their personality of what it is that their goal, are they driven? They're not motivated. They're scared. They're not scared. They want it. What's their past? What have they done before? What they've not done? If I get all this information, I can kind of get an understanding of where you are and how to make sure I lead you down that particular road. Everybody's different. You're more driven. So I would have to take you and I would have to say, you know what, let's get your foundation, but I need to find out a little bit more about you. Let's do an assessment so I know where you're starting. Let's find out where you start, because I can't take you there if I don't know where you are, right? Because you may have some other issues that need to be, attended to so that we can make sure your foundation is strong enough to take you to the next level, right? So I'm going to gather as much information, but it's about information. And I got to make sure I build a relationship so you can trust me. Because at the end of the day, you're going to listen to what I say, hopefully, and hopefully you'll go back and check what I say and bring back any questions so I can continue to answer that so that you feel comfortable enough to follow what I'm telling you to do, right? When nutrition-wise, we know that's the most important thing, because in order to manipulate your body to be what it needs to be, the food tells it to do that, right? And I always say, you look like how you eat. As simple as it can be.
It's crazy, but it really
is the simplest concept. We are exactly what we look like, how we eat. If you eat okay, you look okay. You eat healthy, you look healthy, right? If you eat superb, you look superb. They both go hand in hand, so you can't, do one or the other. You need to do both. At the end of the day, I need to make sure that you're getting exactly that, and I'm going to give you the basics on the nutrition side because it can be complex, but do the simple things superb, and you'll get the results that you want. So I'll make sure I balance it out on telling you exactly just the basics, right? You need to get enough protein in your life. I need to hear what's your daily intake a day. Let me just listen to it. I can tell you exactly what you're not doing and what you need to do just through a conversation about what you're eating and what you're not eating. And you thinking that you can go all day without eating and think you're going to make a change is also a myth that needs to be busted as well, right? We need to eat more, right? And we need to make our body more metabolic.
That was another shocking thing to me when I did the whole, when he told me, when the bodybuilder guy told me, this is what you're going to eat. I was eating 6 times a day.
That's right.
I was not hungry. On the contrary, sometimes it was hard to eat.
Right.
But you had to. Whenever I didn't skip the meal, he'd bite my head off.
That's right.
It's the opposite. You're not eating less. You're eating more.
More.
And it doesn't you don't comprehend it when you're doing it. You're going, how's it possible? But then you see yourself shedding the fat.
That's right.
It just goes.
That's right.
And my weight didn't really fluctuate that much.
Right.
But my physique changed completely.
See?
To what degree?
What?
My jeans would fall off. The ones that I would wear before because I was losing the body fat and building them up, my jeans started falling off of me like I had to get a belt.
Your composition changed completely.
So it's critical. Food is critical. Okay, you're a trainer.
Yes, sir.
And you train clients.
Yes, sir.
There is another thing, the fear is cost. It could be expensive to have a trainer.
Absolutely.
But I'm to the point where I train twice a day with a trainer with you. I mean, twice a week.
Twice a week.
Right? And then I fill in the rest because you've taught me how to fill in the rest to help affect the cost.
Right.
There was a time that I was training 5 times a week with you and got me, and then you got me to the point where you leveled me off where I can train on my own, but still need to come because if you don't, the trainer, what it helps you do is it holds you accountable.
That's it.
And the hardest thing when you come to training is being accountable and making yourself accountable. I've tried to train on my own before, and I've done it by myself, and it just fades. It fluctuates, and today I'm tired. I got to go to work. I got to do this. Let me skip. Having a trainer, if you could afford it 5 times a week, gold. I mean, you're going to be in such good shape so fast.
Right. Yeah.
But if you can't, there's a way you can do it. Even once a week, if you had to do it, you could go down that low, and then, you milk you for advice.
That's it.
Right, but he trains here what we're called near the studio, South Miami.
Yes, sir.
Right, you're training in Pro Level Fitness. Which my good friend owns, by the way. So I can get you a discount on that. But do you still have availability now for clients?
Absolutely.
So he has availability for clients. So you have no excuses. I'm giving you a podcast every 2 weeks. We're going to do that. Right? Every 2 weeks you're going to have knowledge.
Right.
You have the trainer if you want to use him until you get filled up. Once he gets filled up, that's it. You're out of luck. And you've got me to use me. Send me questions. I'll ask. So you don't have to ask. I'll make the fool out of myself because I'm always the fool anyway. So it doesn't really make a difference.
Right.
And then tell them, I want people to know how to find you. How do they find Brent Locke?
Find me on Instagram, lockdown.miami. That's the easiest way. You can DM me.
So lockdown, LOCKDOWN .Miami.
Just like .Miami.
And they can message you through there.
That's it.
Okay, cool. So there you go. There's your guy. Now, when it comes to the show, like we said before, we want to bring in as much variety as possible.
Correct.
So I'm going to even bring what I call cheating. And, cheating. The cheating.
What's the cheating?
The cheating is when you do Botox.
That's good.
When you do those lip fillers. There's pee shots. Those are interesting. I'm not going to mention what that is today, but you're going to love it. Guys, you're going to love pee shot. Well, women are going to love it. Wives are going to love what the pee shot is. I want to bring in experts that are going to explain all that.
All right.
There's also, now it's become mainstream, what used to be, taboo to do. Testosterone therapy replacement. I'm going to bring people here that are going to tell you you're healthier.
That's right.
If your testosterone is where it needs to be, than having it low and not doing the therapy. I'm going to bring in people here that are going to tell you what peptides do.
That's right. I'm
going to have people, and then also the new fad, what's that called? The Mounjaro.
The Mounjaro, GLP-1,
the Ozempic,
exactly.
all of that. In some cases, doctors are prescribing that. Yeah, because you're better off. You're healthier if you're at a weight, that good weight.
Correct.
Besides the diabetes.
You still have to work, though.
Of course you have to work, but this,
I mean, it helps.
That's what they're going to explain. I can't explain it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to be able to explain all this, but I will bring people here that'll tell us about all that. That's the kind of stuff that we want to talk about.
Absolutely. People need to get educated.
And to the training and the dedication, all we can, motivation.
Yeah.
I always call it a switch.
Yeah.
If a switch flicks in you and it's time, that's what's going to make you have to flick the switch. It's not going to happen on its own. But we're going to show you all the tools that are out there and all the tools that you have. And if you need the trainer, well, I'll give you the trainer. He's here right here, but in the South Miami area.
I got a question for you.
Tell me.
Now that you said that you've done all those different types of workouts, now that you're where you are, do you go back and do the same thing? Would
I do the same thing over again? There's most of it, yes. And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because what stage of life you're in is the type of workout you're going to pick and the type of training you're going to do. What I maybe wouldn't have done as much is the CrossFit, or I would do the CrossFit, but I would have done it differently because CrossFit pushes you to an extreme. But if you don't maintain form when you're doing exercises, you will destroy yourself. My back is destroyed because I was concerned on beating the guy next to me. So when I was doing my deadlifts, I wanted to get as much weight up as fast as I could, and I didn't care what happened to my back. I just wanted to beat the guy next to me. If I would know now, I mean, you know then what I know now, I would have done, but maintain the form. And if I did, I can't go anymore, I leave it. So CrossFit has its place. But it's very dangerous if you're not monitored and if you don't monitor yourself correctly. And again, we'll talk about all that. We'll bring in CrossFit guys here too, that are going to get mad at us. But I will question them and I will tell them, and I'll tell them what happened to me.
Yeah, I like your answer because that's the form of way I train. Trying to be smart about it now. I'm older now, so I can't do the same things I used to do, and I have to check my ego all the time. Don't get me wrong. Because I know I can still do these things, but it's not smart. The risk reward just outplays itself. So, and that's why I ask you, because a lot of my clients come to me with that same mindset that I have to try to change. Right? We want to do this smarter so that we can do things longer.
My favorite word that I've heard now at this stage is functional training.
Very good.
The functional, you want functional, certain time you want functional training. Right? And then at the same time, I don't train, I love training. I love working out. I don't train to beat somebody at something. I don't train to be faster. I train because I want to look good. I want to look pretty in my suit.
That's right.
I want to, when I take a shower, go, wow, damn, I love you. So
don't we all
but that's what you've got to know.
Right.
In the beginning, I trained when I was playing football, flag football. I trained for flag football.
That's right.
So I was training for speed, for explosion. Good. When I was into my basketball days, I trained for basketball. Playing basketball, and what helps a short guy like me play basketball. Explosion, and fast twitch, all that. That's right. And when I did bodybuilding, well, I did CrossFit before. When I did CrossFit, it was all about CrossFit. Like I said, how long you can go. And then the competition, that was the last day I did CrossFit. The day I did the competition, I lost my fingertips. My back. Wow. I saw a guy climbing a rope, landing on the floor. I saw his knee pop out.
Wow.
That was literally the last day I did CrossFit. Then I switched and started training at the gym that you work at now, Pro Level Fitness, and I trained with a bodybuilder.
Right.
And I accidentally became a bodybuilder competitor by training with this guy as his partner. So it all depends on where you are in life. Like you said, now I just functional. I want to look good. I want to be able to sit here, and the biceps, this and so it all depends.
Yeah.
But that's what we're going to share with all of them. We got to go. We ran out of time. We promised doing 15-minute episodes for you guys too, so you don't get bored. So the last thing.
Yes, sir.
Children. You train children.
Absolutely.
You have an expertise on training kids.
Yes, I
do. I'm asking this because I've seen it. You've trained kids that are playing sports.
Yes.
You've trained kids in high school.
Yes.
That are specific to a sport and getting ready for that.
Yes.
I know this because the parents so happy when I usually introduce them and refer them to you, and they thank me endlessly because their kids blew up in their sport in high school because of the training.
Yeah.
You do middle-aged people.
Yes.
You do
mature.
And mature people.
Very
I'm not going to say I'm the mature. But he did one of my the Godfather, Lewis.
Yes, enjoyed
shoulder surgery, knee surgery. He came to you.
Yep.
Functional training again.
Right.
It was crazy to see.
Yeah.
We're talking about a 78-year-old man out there with you training where I train and looking at him doing all the things much slower, and how happy he was.
Able to do it though. Yes.
Yes, life change. So again, no excuses. All ranges, women, men. I've seen them training everybody.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. That's what the fitness podcast is going to be about. We hope you like it. We'll keep feeding them to you. If we get fired and you never see us again, then we know you didn't like it. But thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Again, Brent Locke, Tico Casamayor, the Strive 305 Lockdown Business Podcast. And you ask, why Strive 305? Because Strive 305 is about small business initiatives and all that. We're going to get into that too, because the small businesses of the world, you need your employees happy, you need your employees fresh, working their best. We're gonna show you how to do that as well. Yeah. We're gonna show you how you can do training, with big groups, small groups of employees.
That's right.
And what a difference that's going to make in the productivity of your business. So Strive 305 takes a big, is a big when it comes to this. Yes. All right, that's it. That's for today's show. Anthony's going to cut me down and clap, and you won't see me anymore.